Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Open eCrime Market Commentary for the week of December 17th. My name is Toby Gennaro from Trade with Precision, and just coming to you with the outlook for the markets for the week. And taking a look at the S&P 500 here, looking at the ES futures, we've got some of the higher time frames up. Just looking at the monthly chart here, I think we got a break here of the high. Let's see, the high of last month was 1431.75, and yeah, we're right there around 1432.50. So we did get a break of that high. We're looking to take a break of that high on the monthly chart and looking to go long. Nice pullback, bullish candle right there in amongst the buy zone, the 10 and 20 period moving average. Breakthrough of the high and looking to push higher. As we look, the only thing that's going to temper that is by looking at the weekly chart. Had a fairly bearish candle there, just up against that roughly 1420 level. And so if we get a breakdown below the low of that candle, I wouldn't anticipate that, but right around 1404.50, we could see a little deeper pullback before we start moving back up. But for right now, everything looks fairly good. We've got a pullback right back down into the moving averages on the daily chart. We don't have really a small bullish setup candle there just yet, so we're waiting for that. But if we move down to the 480 chart, we actually do have a bullish candle, a nice rejection candle right here, just actually 3 bars ago. And we do have a break of that high, and so we should be looking to push higher, potentially back up to that 1432 level, then putting in a new high. So just looking for those pullbacks and those trend flow setups, as you can see along this trend, all these nice pullbacks right into those moving averages, and then looking to accelerate out again. And the same thing on the daily chart. Had a number of pullbacks. Pull back again, just following that 10 period moving average right up. We're right back at the 10 period again and should be pushing higher. Just need to find that setup on some of the lower time frames since we're not getting it on some of the higher time frames. So that's the outlook for the S&P 500. Things are looking up. Usually in the holiday season, we'll see some trending price action into the new year, and so wouldn't anticipate anything different from this year. And again, just looking for those valid setups on some of those lower time frames like the 480, the 240, the 120, and seeing where some divergence might fit in along with some of those bullish candles in the trend flow setups right around those moving averages. And just looking at the small cap index, the Russell 2000, looking at the futures contract, the TF. A couple of different things here on the Russell. We have that same candle from last month, very bullish in the buy zone, very similar to the ES. Same thing here in the new month, just got a break of the high of that candle. But what's a little bit different is we're seeing that flat level we've been talking about, which is going to take a long time to develop here on the monthly chart. But we have 3 touches there. It looks like if we can keep moving higher here into this level right around 857, 860, we're more than likely at some point going to get a break of that level, which is probably going to be fairly large. As we look down at the weekly chart, we can see we have that similar bearish candle right there on the weekly chart. So we got to keep that in mind. We're looking at the low there of 817.40. So if we end up getting a break of 817.40, we might be doing some kind of a retracement here before we end up moving back up to the highs up around 860. And moving down some of the time frames, looking at the daily chart, we actually do have a nice bullish green candle there setting up amongst the 10-20 period moving average. Got a break of the high on that candle just tonight. And as we move down to the 480 chart, we can see a number of bullish candles, indecisive candles setting up right there in the buy zone and getting a break. Just got a break of the high of those 3 candles. So it looks like we should be moving up to at least that 834 level. So keep an eye on some of those intermediate time frames, the 480, the 240, and then the daily, and then look for that move higher into break that level around 834, 835, and then keep an eye out for some of these levels up around right here around like 842, and then there's going to be another level up here around 851 before we get into that new high of around 864, 865. So everything looking fairly bullish again on the small cap index, and so just looking for those trend flow setups and those flat level breaks on some of those intermediate time frames in the daily chart. And looking at the final market here, looking at the Aussie dollar pairing and the monthly chart, Everything's been in a really nice uptrend here for quite some time. All the moving averages in alignment here. It looks like the 10 and 20 period are going to be getting back into alignment with this latest recent move right here. But we can see a couple of very nice bullish candles right here, starting out with an indecisive candle, then got a very nice rejection candle right there. Just got a break of the high right here on the monthly chart, so we should see probably an extended move here. As we move down to the weekly chart, moving averages a little mixed up right around here, but getting back into alignment. Looks like we've got probably a little flat level setting up right around there at 106. But as we move down to the daily chart, really looking for a nice pullback off of this high, pulling back right back into that flat level right around 104.8. And if we can get that pullback, have a nice support level right there, plus we'll be right back in and amongst the buy zone on the moving averages, the 10 and 20 period. Everything fanning up very nice, the 200, the 50, the 20, the 10. As we move over to the 480, we can see a nice rejection candle right off there, looking for probably a little deeper pullback and probably a break here of this 105 level, and then pulling back into that flat level right around 104.8, 104.6, and probably looking for those bullish candles to set up there before we take this another level higher, and then back to probably break that high up around that 105.8 level right here, 105.87. So a very bullish outlook on the Aussie dollar. Things are looking good on the higher time frames. Just looking for a pullback here into a level of support in the moving averages to get long with one of those trend flow setups. And that's the outlook for the week. We do thank you for watching the Open eCry market commentary for the week of December 17th. And we do look forward to speaking to you next week on the market update.